Hello and welcome. Nadia here with NadiaMelton.com. Excited to see you inside this tutorial. So we're going to cover a couple of really cool things. Number one, are you ready for a self-hosted WordPress blog? Now, if you don't know what that means, we'll talk about the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Those are two different things. Number two, I want to help you with identifying the 5 steps to a successful blog. And number three, of course, we're going to get into how do you do it yourself? How do you set up your own self-hosted WordPress blog? So I hope you're ready. So first of all, when getting started with blogging, there's a couple things that you want to think about. Number one, ultimately, you are creating a blog to serve people, right? Now, you don't want to be generic in your marketing, because if you're generic in your marketing, you're trying to market to everybody, you're going to get nobody. So you want to get really, really specific as to who is it that you're looking to serve. You know, what problems do they have? So you want to think about that. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to set up your blog, and this is going to be a pretty technical tutorial. So I really wanted to be able to showcase the steps to success, really outline the big picture of what it takes. Really, maybe the skeleton is how I can say it, of how we can set this whole thing up and a couple different options that you have. Number three is you want to create your content formula and start producing content. Now, a couple different options that you have there. You can either write. If you're great at writing, hey, you can write, right? Now, if you're great with audio, you can maybe have a podcast that you feature in your blog. Or if you're great with video, I highly encourage you to do video. And of course, you can do combination of any of those three. But a little disclaimer here is I see a lot of people spend way too much time on creating the perfect content. And by the way, it's not about perfection, it's about results, right? But here's the key to success here is 80% of your time should be spent on promoting the content you create, and only 20% should be spent on you creating the content. So please do keep that in mind. Number four, we're going to drive traffic to your blog. That's pretty important, right? And number five, monetizing your blog. One of the biggest reasons why we personally get excited about putting together our blogs is, number one, it's a huge leverage. Number two, there's so many different ways to monetize your blog. The more value that you give, you're going to start to see it all over the place where you can monetize what you already know right where you're sitting right now. Now, I don't have, a whole lot of time to kind of jump into each step, specifically and really break it down for you, but I did do a webinar training where I covered this in more detail, and I'll actually link to it below this video if you want to really dive deeper. As far as starting your blog, here's the two options that you have. Number one, you build it yourself. So if you're not very technical, you can learn it and you can do it. Matter of fact, when I got started, I learned how to do everything myself. And now looking back, I wish right from the get-go, I did a combination of the two. Okay, so number one, you build it yourself. Number two, you can hire someone to do it for you. So I want to encourage you to really understand the skeleton of the project that we're looking to go out and accomplish. And then there's a couple different ways that you can outsource, that you can have somebody help you when it gets really technical. Number one, you can actually hire somebody on Upwork.com, which if you follow my content, I highly recommend this website. And this is a website that brings employees and employers together, if you will. So you can hire and outsource internationally. Today I have 5 virtual assistants, and they are 1 in India and the rest of them are in Philippines, or excuse me, 3 in Philippines, 1 in France. So what's pretty awesome is the advantage there is you can hire incredible talent at a fraction of the cost. Or if you do know, maybe you have a friend or family member that's pretty technical, you get my drift, right? hire somebody or have somebody help you through the technical stuff. And then of course you always have Google and YouTube University. Those two websites are going to be your best friends. So when you come to, to places, maybe as you're putting together your website, you're not sure, for an example, how to embed a video into your blog post, you can simply Google it, go to YouTube and type in how to embed a video into my WordPress blog, and there's probably thousands of tutorials that will walk you through on how to do it, okay? Now, a disclaimer, once again, is please be mindful on how much time you're spending on teaching it to yourself, okay? As an entrepreneur, really the biggest hurdle that all of us have is to focusing on income producing activities and outsourcing everything else. So, but in my opinion, you want to be doing a combination of these two things, doing it yourself, but also having somebody that you can outsource to when you hit that point where a task is really tedious, or maybe you need some graphics done and you're not a graphic designer, it's not something that comes natural to you. I recommend that you're thinking outside the box and you're finding a solution and giving that task to somebody that can get it done in a fraction of the time. Now, why WordPress? I think, now that I've been building websites for a couple years, I think the first one I did 5 years ago, and I used Wix.com. So I've done many different things, and in my humble opinion, WordPress is by far the best way to go. It is open source code, and so it's not like they can just go out of business and you lose your content. So many different developers contribute to that code, and so very simply put, you can edit it yourself. It has flexible designs with different themes, so you could literally change the look and feel of your website in a matter of a moment by changing the kind of theme that's running your site. So easy. Also mobile friendly in today's day and age. It's very important that your website is, easily accessible from a mobile device. We also have plugins that we can upload to our websites to give our websites unlimited functionality. And let's define the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. If you are new, and what I mean by that is you're not yet quite sure that, yes, I definitely want to build a blog, I have a long-term vision, I am ready to build my real estate online, then a great place for you to start is to really put your feet in the water, put together like a very simple blog, put some blog posts together and see how you like it. So a great way to get started is to create a free account on WordPress.com where literally you choose, from different templates. Now you don't have as much options, or as many options, I should say, to customize, but hey, it's a free website. It's kind of like opening up an account on Facebook. You don't own it, but you can, go out and do all the different things and play around and all that fun stuff. So great place to get started. Now, if you're somebody that's serious and you're ready to build your personal brand, you're ready to really kind of set yourself apart, build yourself as an authority in your niche, then self-hosted is definitely the way to go because you now own it. I look at that as your ultimate leverage. If one day you want to write a book, you write a book one chapter at a time, one blog post at a time. So this is going to be the content that you host, that you own. Nobody can mess with that. So, and that's the route that we chose to do, and that's what I recommend for you if you are serious. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the 6 steps to do it yourself, self-hosted WordPress blog. Number 1, we need to get your domain name and hosting set up. Number 2, we're going to simply install WordPress, which is free. Okay, that's a free thing that we're going to do onto your website. Number 3, we're going to choose our theme. So this is the look and feel of your website. There are many free themes out there, and there are also paid themes. So if you're ready to really kick it up a notch with the design and the overall look and feel of your site, then paid is the way to go. All of my websites today run on a paid theme. Number Number 4 is we're going to add pages and blog posts. Number 5, we're going to install plugins. Remember, plugins are going to add additional functionality to your website, and I'm going to cover with you my most favorite plugins and must-have plugins for your site. Number 6, we're going to configure those sidebar widgets of your website. So those are the six steps to success. So number 1, let's get started with your domain name and hosting. So there's many different hosting companies out there. I personally love HostGator. So this is a company that I've used ever since I started my blogs. Now go ahead and do your research, but if you do want to go ahead and go towards HostGator, here's my affiliate link. So nadyamelton.com/hosting will send you straight to them. And of course, if you get started with hosting through that link, I appreciate you in advance. Let me know if there's anything I can do to answer any questions for you. But very simply, when on the website, we want to go ahead and click on hosting only. I know they have different bundle packages. Don't get carried away with all that. Just click on hosting. You want to choose what's called the Hatchling plan for a single domain. And here's how it works. They always have great discounts happening when you are signing up for the first time, but that discount only applies to the very first payment that you make. So if you do the month-to-month payment, then you're only going to get that discount for the first month. So what I recommend that you do is you get hosting, you prepay for hosting in advance. So whether you do 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, you'll get that huge discount from the first payment. So I do want to encourage you to get the bigger package right off the bat to really save the most amount of money that you can getting started. Now, there is one feature that I recommend that you add on. Oh, let me actually show you how this works. So when we go ahead and choose to sign up, and see how it's going to give you an option to either register a new domain, or I already own this domain, and you would type in what domain you're looking to build your blog on. So that's fine. And then this is where you're going to go ahead and choose, how many months you're going to prepay, and see how you would get 55% off at the time of the recording of this tutorial for 36 months. So that really makes a big difference. Okay, so and then below that, actually, you'll see that you can add security. I believe it's $15 a month. It's called Site Lock, and I recommend that you do get that to protect your website from hackers and things like that. Now, if you have any questions going through the process, can I tell you, HostGator, one of the big reasons why I love that company is they have the most awesome customer support. So feel free to give them a call at any point through the process so they can help you complete the process as well. Now, once you create your account, here's what I want you to write down. If you do host your domain name with another provider, for an example, domain.com, GoDaddy, you do need to go in and update name servers with your domain provider, so that will link your domain name to your hosting account. Okay, so if what I'm saying to you sounds complicated, you're not sure what to do, very simply write down update name servers with your domain hosting company, and you can call that company if you have some questions, you're not sure what to do, and they'll tell you exactly where to update your name servers. So once that's done, now you connected your domain name to your hosting account, and now we are ready to install WordPress onto our website. So as you can see, we're going to log into HostGator control panel, and you're going to see an option that says get started with WordPress today. There's no additional fees for you to do that. And you're going to be redirected to quick install, where you're going to choose WordPress. We're going to go ahead, and also I noticed recently they now have different packages. Don't get upgraded to any of that. Just install the free version of WordPress. And here's the great news is that this now is you're creating the login details for what I call your back office of your website. So this is where you're going to log in, edit your theme, and add content right? That's going to be the back office that you do that with, okay? So again, if you have any questions with setting up your WordPress or downloading it from wordpress.org, see how that's how it's done, go ahead and call HostGator with any questions. So this is going to be the screen that you see. So you're going to choose the domain name, and then you're going to go ahead and create your admin details, and you install, and you are now ready to go. Once that's done, we're going to choose your theme. Now again, if you have any problems going through step 1 and step 2, you can reach out to your domain provider or to HostGator, and they're going to help you complete those 2 steps. So now we're ready to customize your website. The first thing we can do is we can choose your theme. So this is the look and feel of your website, and see how once we log into your WordPress back office, and this is going to be what your dashboard looks like. So on the left hand side, as you can see, posts, media, pages, comments. Lead Pages is a tool that I use, so that's a plugin that I installed. Optimize Press is actually the paid theme that I use, and also Genesis. So this is actually the back office of my husband's website. But when we choose appearance and themes, so this is where we can go ahead and either upload any themes that are already available to you from WordPress, and so you see how you can choose popular or featured or latest, or you can upload a theme as well. But this is where you can play with that. Again, look and feel of your website. That's how we do it. Once we go ahead and upload a free theme, we want to now go ahead and create a skeleton for your blog. So let's go ahead and add some pages. So it's good to put together an about page, a contact me page, maybe a resources page. And then we can start to put together blog posts. And let me show you how simple it is to do so. Now, the log into your website is your website.com/WP-admin. So you want to save that in your bookmarks, as this is going to be your back office. And so let me also show you the difference between the blog posts and the pages, just in case you are unclear. So this is my husband's website. So as you can see, you're going to create what I call static pages, which means that the content is not going to change, right? So for an example, an about page, maybe a resources page, maybe you have an outside links where, for an example, when somebody clicks on Social Academy, they're redirected to another website. Also contact. Now under the blog page, we now have blog posts, and this is going to be new content that you're going to load to your website, and then you want to choose how often you're going to do that. Do you want to post once a week to your website? Do you want to do twice a week? Whatever you choose, I just recommend that you stay consistent with it, okay? So now looking into the back office, pages is your static content. So very simply, we're going to click on add new, and we can go ahead and customize from there. Same for posts. So this is going to be your blog post. We can go ahead and choose add new. We can also, this is where you can customize your categories. If you want to have different buckets of content that you create, this is how we go about doing that. Now again, remember, if you are not sure how to add a picture to your blog post, very simply, you can go to YouTube and search how to add a media file or a picture to my WordPress blog, and they have thousands of tutorials on how to do it, okay? So, but I wanted to be able to give you kind of like a skeleton, an overall, grasp of how this whole thing comes together. And then you can go in and dissect piece by piece, okay? So step number 5, we're going to install plugins. Now they add functionality to your website, and as you can see here inside our back office, very simply, we're going to go to plugins and add new. So let me give you an example of the plugins I think are a must-have. Number one, Akismet. Now, Akismet, what it does, it's actually going to keep spammy comments off your website. Really important that you activate it. And you're also going to create an API key by creating a simple username and a password with Akismet, and very simple to do. Again, if you're kind of a little bit confused, just YouTube how to activate a Akismet key. I'm sure there are tutorials there. The next plugin I recommend you upload is what's called Broken Link Checker. So this plugin is going to constantly run your website and alert you anytime you have a URL that you embedded into a blog post or something that is no longer valid. So you can go in and update, and it'll make sure that your website is free of bad redirects. You never want to see that happen. Number three, Dig, which is a social media sharing plugin. So if you, for an example, right now, if you are on my blog, you'll see to the side of the video where you can share, right? Whether to Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, that's the plugin that I'm using. Easy Facebook like box. If you have a fan page and you want to install a plugin where somebody can like your fan page inside or like while they're on your blog, that would be the plugin to utilize. Also, Facebook comments plugin is great if you want people to be able to use Facebook to comment below your blog posts. Very cool. Open a new window plugin, and what it does, anytime you have a link, for an example, to learn more or to tune into my full video that has to do with XYZ, click here, right? And when they click, it opens up another window. You never want it to open on the same window they are on, especially if it's an outside link, like if you're taking somebody to a whole other website other than yourself. So what this plugin will do, it'll make sure that every time somebody clicks on the link that's on your blog, the new window opens for that content. Really simple share. This is another plugin that I use that shows up under the blog post. So the Dig is a floating bar that goes on the side of the blog post, and really simple share is the buttons below my blog posts. WordPress SEO, this is really great because this plugin is going to help you maximize every blog post that you do that search engines can find it. And again, for specifics, every plugin you can search, watch a quick 2 to 3 minute tutorial, install it, configure it, and you are ready to go. So this is what I was talking about, the Dig. So this is what that looks like on the side of the blog post. This is the really simple share, okay, which is really, really important because we want to be able to drive traffic to your blog post. So we want to make it easy for people to share something that's great value. And these are our Facebook comments plugin. Isn't that pretty awesome? So as you can see, very simply, you can add functionality to your blog post by installing that plugin. Now, number 6, let's configure your widgets. Okay, oh, that is a tough word for me to say. Let's configure your widgets. So these are those things on the side, so you can either capture somebody's name and email, many different things that you can do. Here's our like box, right? You can have a widget to subscribe to your YouTube channel. And under appearance, we're going to click on widgets, and then we can simply put in whatever you want to put into the sidebar. This is where you go about doing that. Okay. Now, maintaining your WordPress site. Keep WordPress and plugins up to date. So every time you log into your back office, you'll see that that you can update anything that needs an update. I recommend that you do that. Backup regularly. So, and this is really valid, thing to do, or a great thing to do once you build up the content. So if, gosh forbid, something happens or your website went down, or who knows, right? You just never know with the internet that you can recoup your website in a matter of minutes. I recommend blogvault.net is the plugin that I use. It is a paid app. I believe it's $10 a month is what I pay. But again, I wouldn't worry about it until you got to the point where you have a lot of content on your website. Number 3, we talked about a Kismet to keep spam out. Number 4, we want to add opt-in boxes to your website. So once you create the skeleton of your website, you have your about page, your contact you page, maybe a resources page, whatever kind of pages that make sense for your brand. The next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and start capturing leads. Now, all of these different resources that I'm covering, you can find in one place on nadyamelton.com/resources. So the number one goal for your website is to build your list, right? So this is actually the homepage of my website. And as you can see, I have 3 different opt-in opportunities because ultimately your whole goal, if you can build your email list, right, that's really the number one goal that you're looking to accomplish. So let me give you a couple different tools that you can take a look at to be able to start to build your list. Email trumps social. Email list is your asset, right? Because Facebook can close down your account at any point. And if that happened, you were to lose all of those, friends and followers, where if you build your email list, that is an asset that nobody can take away from you. Now, to legally collect names and email addresses, you need an email service provider, whether it's Aweber, GetResponse. So nadyamelton.com/GetResponse. That's the email service provider that I recommend. I've tried Aweber, I tried another one, and for me that really is my favorite, especially if you're working on a budget, really inexpensive to get started with. Number 2, there are different plugins that can help you create easy opt-ins. So pop-up alley plugin, so free or pro. So look into that if you're looking to be able to do that via a plugin. Now, Lead Pages is the software that I use to create a lot of my opt-ins. So that's going to be the link to get there. Number 4, create an opt-in offer. So what's the number one question you get asked when you say, what do you do? Okay, so I want you to think about that. It's a great idea to have something in place that people exchange their name and email address for the valuable resource that you provide just for them. Now, law of reciprocity, the secret to online success is what you can give, not what you can get. So the 3 words you want to keep in mind is entertain, empower, educate. The more value that you bring, the more success you're going to have. So obviously we covered a lot of ground, and if you are somebody that's really, really serious and you're looking to make your blog an ultra success, you're looking to generate income online, here's an awesome blogging course that I want to recommend your way from our friend Ray Higdon. So if you're looking to become a credible expert in your niche virtually overnight, even if nobody knows who you are now, hey, listen, check out the free 3 videos that Ray put together. Incredible value. I learned so much from him on how to really position our blogs for success. All right, so if you're serious, check that out, and thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this tutorial ultra valuable. If you did, can you comment below or share with your teammates, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.